happen, and then when it's time.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Church of Los Alamos. I'm board president for this church year. Our originally planned speaker, Jim Scott, cannot be with us today due to message today. As Unitarian Universalists, we affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of all people and gather together in a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. Whoever you are, wherever you are in your life's journey this morning, you are welcome here. I'd like to extend a special welcome to any visitors or first-time guests we have among us this morning. I invite you to pick up a welcome packet from our greeters in the foyer if you haven't done so already. And please join us for coffee and conversation and the potluck in the fellowship hall after the service. Our minister, Reverend Tina, would love to meet you and answer any questions you might have about our community. New parents are encouraged to speak with Terra Hite, our Director of Lifespan Religious Education.
Yeah.
And there are many options for young children in worship this morning. For our youngest members, there's nursery care available down the hallway just past the restrooms. Our nursery coordinator, Sarah Hamoud, will be happy to check you in. Children are also welcome up front at our young worshiper space or at our intention table. And you may, of course, continue to sit with your parents here in the sanctuary or in our quiet space in the library. And now we ask that you silence your cell phones as we begin this morning's service. Today, we welcome the Reverend Tina DeYoe as our minister pro tem, if I can get through this without tearing up. We are excited about the journey ahead. In our Unitarian Universalist tradition, our congregations are autonomous bodies bound by the covenant we make with one another. This year, we will be learning more about what it means to be a covenantal community as a congregation from Rev Tina and the church board. Today, however, we as members of the Unitarian Church of Los Alamos will be entering into a covenant with Reverend Tina and her work as our minister. The coming together of congregation and minister assumes special significance when there is involved, as here, a great tradition of liberal leadership. It is with profound feeling, therefore, that we formally recognize the covenantal relationship now existing between the people of the Unitarian Church of Los Alamos and the Reverend Tina DeYoe. Our choice as a board to hire Rev Tina as minister pro tem is based not only on our heritage, but also on the hopes and aspirations we have for the future. This covenant with Rev Tina symbolizes our dedication to new growth as a community, the goals toward which we strive, and the ideals by which we are sustained and strengthened. Love is indeed the doctrine of this church, and service is its prayer. We covenant to uphold our UU values and principles in collaboration with Rev Tina. And so will the members of the Unitarian Church of Los Alamos please rise and join me in the following words. We cherish for its historic achievements and for its efforts to keep abreast of changing times and to be a beacon of hope and life in our community. We celebrate its devotion to freedom and its dedication to issues of justice and to the inherent dignity and worth of all people. We cherish our fellowship for what it has to give and for what it may yet become through our united efforts. The covenant with you, Reverend Tina DeYoe, as minister of our congregation. For our heart, we pledge to walk with you in the ways of truth, justice, and love. We will share with you directly our joys and concerns. We offer you a free pulpit, the cooperation of our hearts and hands, and our resolute goodwill as you take up your work among us.
So I also pledge to walk with all of you in the ways of truth, justice, and love. With gratitude for the trust you place in me, I accept your invitation to be your minister. I welcome the opportunity to be your fellow traveler and spiritual leader, to live and speak truth in love, to minister to you and with you, in times of trial and in times of grace, in times of joy and in times of sorrow. I covenant with all of you to be a compassionate and prophetic leader. I welcome the opportunity to help you minister to one another and to work with you to foster the growth of this beloved community. I will seek to honor all of our many ancestors and leaders that have come before me and the legacy they have left in our community. May our journey together be rich, sincere, joyful, and fun. Oh. Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's you. Sorry.
Okay. We do hereby affirm this ministry. May congregation and minister both be blessed with strength and wisdom in the years of hard and holy work ahead.
Amen. May it be so. Thank you all. And you may be seated. So, yeah, we're going to light our chalice this morning. Yeah, thank you, Leo. And our chalice lighting words are these. Oh, yeah, that's good. We light this chalice for the web of life which sustains us, for the sacred circle of life in which we have our being, for the earth, the sky above and below, and for our Mother Earth, and for the mystery. So let us rise in body or spirit and sing our opening hymn, Gather the Spirit. Let us say this together. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer.
Please stay standing. What a wonder to be in community. Please take a moment now to greet your neighbor, a person sitting in front of or behind you. Say hello and look into their eyes. Tell them your name if you don't already know it. Okay. We are grateful that you showed up here and brought your presence today to our beloved community. Thank you.
Please be seated. So our candles this morning, and if you didn't know, and if you're new here, you can light a candle coming into our worship space, and you can write a prayer in the book if you would so choose. You don't have to write a prayer, but you can light a candle for all those things on your heart as well. So today, what is written in our book is gratitude for 3 months of sobriety and taking care of mental health. Yes. Woo. Yes. Thoughts and prayers and love for Peggy Bowen, who is in the hospital in Albuquerque, recovering from brain surgery. Celebrating John Ussery's, did I say that right? Ussery's, thank you, 75th birthday. Woo, that's Terra's dad. Celebrating William Hite's 10th birthday this Tuesday. Yeah. And for the wildlife and rivers we are enjoying all summer long. May it be so. So let us enter into a time of meditation together this morning. Ground yourself on our earth with your feet, if you so choose. Breathe in the air around us. Breathe out. Mother Earth, Gaia, God of many names. We gather this morning anew, excited for the path ahead of us as a church community. We honor and lift up the legacy of leadership that this congregation has inspired within and beyond our walls. We are grateful for the many years lay leaders have given of their time and talents. We are grateful for continued lay leadership and the potential for new leaders to emerge as we move into a future full of growth, challenges, and excitement. We are grateful for our paid professional leadership and honor our past as we look toward our future. We are also grateful for all of the kids and youth that have given so much to our congregation and continue to give. May we all move together on our continued journey with a commitment to cultivating joy, appreciation, fun, and generosity. As we continue to enjoy the summer season, let us give thanks for the beauty that surrounds us and the yummy fruit and vegetables that our land produces. Let us remember that we are a precious planet, and let us commit to more collective eco-action work together. Also, as our media outlets continue to debate different body types, especially those of athletes, we want to remember to voice that all bodies are sacred. Say it with me, all bodies are sacred. We loudly denounce body discrimination, sexism, heterosexism, and transphobia and racism. All bodies are sacred. We remember this week to lift up all of our teachers, school staff, and students returning to another fun-filled school year. We bless you all on your journey of new learning, growth, and fun. Just as all of our many diverse bodies are sacred, we remember that all our neurodiversity is sacred as well. Let us remember all those people in war-torn areas affected by acts of genocide and terror. And we cry out for all the innocent people, including all of the children. We cry out, war no more. We recognize that there is a tension between the beauty that surrounds us here and the terror that surrounds others in different parts of our world. May we embrace that tension as a call to action to speak truth in love. And this morning, as we look out our windows here, may we remember the love that embraces all of us. May we remember that there is no power in the world that exists that is capable of destroying humans as spiritual beings. Amen. Let us stay seated for our meditation hymn. There's a river flowing in my soul.
And now, if the young and young at heart would like to join me at the front, we have a story. Sustaining the Tree of Life. This is a story about a tree. The tree stood in the middle of the village. Its trunk was so large that it took 6 people holding hands to reach around it. The roots were strong and wide, and its branches spread out over the village square, offering shelter from the rain or shade from the summer sun. Its fruit was juicy, sweet, and powerful. The people of the village loved the tree. Children played beneath it and climbed its lowest branches. Young people knew that if you whispered your dreams to the tree, they were more likely to come true. People who proclaimed their love of friendship for one another beneath its branches found their relationships to be nourishing, and elders discovered that their sweetest memories could be counted on when they were near the great tree. The tree had been witness to so much, and when the breezes blew through the leaves, one could hear the echoes of generations of laughter, conversations, dreams, prayers, and songs. Animals loved the tree too. Rabbits lived in burrows under the roots, squirrels and monkeys lived in the branches, and bats and birds flew in to eat the abundant fruit. The tree seemed to buzz with life. One day, a traveling merchant arrived in the village. He rested in the shade and ate 2 pieces of the delicious fruit. "This fruit is incredible," he said. "I would like to have some to sell in the next villages that I visit. Who owns this tree?" "No one owns this tree," replied a villager. "If anything, we belong to it." "Well then, if no one owns the tree, then no one will mind if I pick the fruit," said the merchant, and began to fill a basket. "I mind," said the villager, "and today I am the keeper of the tree." "What do you mean, the keeper of the tree?" "We take our turn being here with the tree. We could never own it. We are here as protectors, as sustainers." "That's ridiculous. This tree doesn't need you. You could just take what you need, take what you want. The tree will continue." But the villager couldn't be persuaded. "Sir, this tree isn't like that. We don't come here to take from it, even though we receive so much. We are keepers of the tree because this is where we are nourished. This is where some of our most precious memories are and where our people have dreamed. This is where we remember who we want to become." "Well," said the merchant, "you may think this tree is very special, but it doesn't need you to sit with it. That's preposterous." "Ah," replied the villager, "the tree itself may not need me, but what of the others who come? Just this morning I sat with a woman whose heart was heavy with worry. Had I not been here, she would have had to carry that weight alone. And this afternoon, a tired couple came by, and they rested with me. They said they had been looking for a place like this. And then an elder came by, and we watched the birds in the branches together. And now you are here. You are confused about what this tree is and how to be with it. Imagine if you had arrived and found no one here to talk with. You might have continued thinking that everything you do is all about you. Luckily for you, my friend, I'm here to let you know that when you care for the tree of life, it becomes about so much more than just you." And the merchant sat for a while in the shade, thinking about these ideas that felt new and little and challenging. As the sun went down, he picked up his bag and headed out of town, whistling a song that he hadn't thought of in years. On his way, he shared a smile with each person he met, his heart feeling strangely light and joyful. And the people of the village, they continued to sustain the tree of life, to care for one another, and to share their gifts with grace and gratitude. May it be so for each of us. Today we are talking about stories connected to our earth. And earth is a precious part of all of our stories. So I have a question for you kids. What are some ways that the earth cares for you? Can you think of any? Thank you. Provides us with water. Yeah, thank you. Wait, the what from the sun? The right distance from the sun so we don't burn ourselves. Yeah. And what are some ways that we care for the earth? If we don't throw trash everywhere, yeah. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mimi Adams, and I go by the pronouns she, her, or they, them. I am the incoming Supreme Commander of the Worship Committee in September. And I have a reading here from Starhawk. In this crucial time, we are called to be healers of the earth, of the human community, of each other, and of ourselves. We speak of healing the earth, but in reality, what needs healing is our human relationship to the earth. Healing begins with listening. By maintaining a personal practice of listening to the earth, we create a new relationship that is healing not just for the earth, but for ourselves. For when we are out of communication with the elements and energies and processes that sustain our lives, we cannot be healthy or whole.
Thank you, Mimi. So this morning, Jim Scott, a well-known UU composer, performer, poet, and activist, was set to share his music and his message titled Gaia, Mother Earth, and the Oneness of Everything. I'm sad we are missing his message and music. And Jim, if you're tuning in, we wish you the best as you recover from being sick. And I want to extend my gratitude to Nylea for taking the lead and working with me late on Friday night to get our new order of service together for this morning. Thank you. Yeah. As well as the rest of the staff, Yelena, Peg, Terra, thank you. And our worship associates, yes, Mimi and Elisa, and our AV team, and the choir, thank you as well, and all of our wonderful musicians for stepping in and helping at the last minute. This is what teamwork looks like, and I am grateful to all of you, and I'm happy to be here working and collaborating with all of you, so thank you. So following in line with Jim's message, his planned but now canceled concert was titled The Year to Save the Earth. In this same vein, I will be giving a talk this morning centered around the theme of eco-justice and climate action. We gather together this morning to hear how our own personal stories rooted in the earth can lead us to committing to transformative eco-action work together. Thank you all for being here this morning. So as Unitarian Universalists, one of our core values that we know of is interdependence with one another and with the earth. We know that looking at eco-justice issues through different lenses and hearing other perspectives is key to the work of intersectional environmental justice. I strongly believe that through shared dialogue and shared wisdom, transformative solutions can become a reality. And this sermon, this talk, is inspired by the work of Dr. Melanie Harris, a Black eco-womanist and theologian who gave us this model of telling our eco-autobiographies and eco-memoirs using the lenses of liberation and transformation. Just as Dr. Harris's work has inspired me, may you also be inspired to explore and share your eco-memoir as a starting place for all of us to commit to more collaborative eco-action work. To that end, I would like to share my eco-memoir with you. So I've been living in Los Alamos for 10 years now. In my opinion, autumn and spring are the best times of year to see the beauty of our very dramatic landscape. I love being able to see all the different colors pop from far off distances. As you all know, Los Alamos translates to what? The cottonwoods, right? And during these seasons, Many of you have seen the cottonwood trees turn bright green with new buds in the spring, and then the leaves turn bright yellow in the fall as they begin their dying process. These green and golden cottonwood trees can be seen lining our Rio Grande and other rios in our state. I love viewing the long, windy path that these colors create in our desert landscape. To add to this impressive show, the aspen trees in the mountains high above the Rio Grande Valley also turn spectacular shades of light green in the spring and yellow, red, and orange in the fall. Spring and autumn really are the most beautiful seasons in our region. In the past couple decades, many of you have experienced the forest fires that have scarred our mountain landscape and our county. Many of you have also seen the aspen trees that have popped up in full force in these burn scars. In the fall of 2020, I took my annual drive to look at the autumn leaves changing color up in the Jemez. I love taking photos, especially those of the leaves changing color. That same year, I had just been through a painful divorce and a painful knee injury. I stopped the car at a spot where there was a sea of golden aspen leaves. These aspen trees had popped up in the burn scar on that mountainside. Later, while looking at the photos I had taken, I decided to reflect on my connection with the land. I posted a photo of myself on Facebook looking toward the bright yellow leaves with the tagline, "Scars can heal, and from those scars emerge beauty to the land." I felt empathy for the land and its scars. I knew that we were connected and we were healing together. My healing took the form of weekly counseling and group counseling sessions. I was learning to practice mindfulness and use dialectical behavioral therapy skills. I was using diary cards to track my emotions. I was working to recognize my own judgments and assumptions while also confronting my own pain and vulnerability. Most importantly, I was learning to use practices of gratitude and forgiveness. I also continued physical therapy for my knee. I continue to use many of these therapy practices to this day. What practices have helped you heal from scars in your life? The land's healing has been in the form of thorny bushes popping up first, followed by beautiful aspen trees later. I experienced working through a lot of emotional and even physical pain as I continued to heal. Depression and sadness were hard things to face during my grieving process. These thorny areas were necessary because they helped lead me back to a place where I could see the beauty within me. Healing does not come without some thorns. Where have you experienced thorny bushes in your healing? As I continued to contemplate the parallels between my healing and that of the land, it occurred to me that people also helped in the land's healing with reseeding efforts. Family and friends were priceless in the process of my healing. Healing does not come without others helping us along the way. Healing work is indeed a journey. The land has taught me that there is beauty in resilience, healing, and even pain. The scars upon the land have taught me a lot about my own scars. This is where my story connects with the story of the land. We all know that Los Alamos sits upon land that holds many scars from history. The whole geology of the area was created by many volcanic eruptions, some violent, some slow, all emanating from one super volcano, now a dormant volcano and caldera. This same land has been home to the Tewa and Keres peoples for a very long time, long before the Spanish and the white settlers arrived. In their time of occupation, the Spanish committed many atrocities against the indigenous people, as did the white people who eventually followed. Blood was spilled on these indigenous lands. These scars on the land are not visible to the eye, but the traumatic scars of these events still exist in the Pueblo communities and with the Pueblo peoples who are present here in our congregation in Los Alamos, and who are also our neighbors in the valley. Through all of this trauma, the beautiful cottonwood trees that line the Rio Grande have shown their green and golden colors in the spring and in the fall. The land and its indigenous peoples are resilient. I respect this resilience, yet I also know I am an occupier of this land, and I am not a native resident. I am a newbie to this land, and I have a lot to learn. I'm learning how to respect the land and our neighbors who have been protecting the land for many generations. Like people, cottonwoods need water to survive. This is why they do well along the banks of the rios. As we know, water resources in the deserts of New Mexico are scarce and are becoming more so. Many of these cottonwoods are dying because of the lack of water in areas where water used to flow freely and predictably. Aspen trees high in the mountains are suffering because there is less rain in the summer and less snowpack in the winter. These lands are being scarred by the consistent drought that much of the West is now facing. Water is life, and we must protect our waters. Water cleanses, heals, and restores. Cottonwoods need water to live. Aspen trees need water to live. We need water to live. We are all connected. We are all in this together. The Tewa and Keres lands of our region also hold scars from the military-industrial complex. A lot of you have worked on the massive projects of environmental cleanup from the era of the Manhattan Project. And a lot of my friends here in town are still working on monitoring these cleanup efforts. I am still learning about these remediation efforts, and I would love to learn more from any experts we may have here in this room. Please talk to me after. We all know there are canyons in our county where we still probably should not drink the water that gathers at the bottom. We also know that the lab occupies sacred Tewa and Keres land that includes some of their sacred sites. We also know that they cannot access some of these sacred sites due to national security concerns. The Tewa and Keres people are also worried about the land, the water, the crops, the air, the Rio, the people. Unfortunately, we know that part of our groundwater is contaminated by a chromium plume that continues to move toward our groundwater wells and towards Pueblo land and the Rio Grande. Intersectional work is essential in tackling this environmental crisis. Tewa Women United, which many of you are familiar with and which our church has partnered with on numerous initiatives, is an indigenous activist organization in the northern New Mexico region that works on these environmental justice issues in Los Alamos and the surrounding Pueblo lands. This organization has been calling on the Environmental Protection Agency to change their exposure standards to protect those most vulnerable. Rather than the reference man, to be a male in their 20s to 30s who weighs 150 pounds, who is 5 feet 9 inches, Tewa Women United is calling on the EPA to change their regulatory standard to a reference human that better reflects those people who are most vulnerable to toxic exposures, i.e. Indigenous, pregnant women, and their young children. If we take an intersectional analysis of our connection to the land that we occupy, we must also consider and listen to the wisdom, experiences, and knowledge of the Indigenous peoples of this land. My own personal scars have taught me a lot. The scars on the land that I love here in New Mexico have also taught me a lot. I feel empathy for the land. We, the flora, the fauna, the settlers, the immigrants, the occupiers, and the indigenous are all connected and interdependent through our past, present, and our future. We are all part of this interdependent web of existence. This is what the land has taught me. We are connected, and we must work together to repair and heal ourselves as we repair and heal the land. My own transformation and liberation is connected to this land. My resilience is connected to this land. My healing is connected to the healing of the land. The change of the seasons into spring or into autumn are times for us to reflect and be grateful for the beauty of the land that surrounds us. These seasonal changes inspire us to reflect on how we want to continue the repair of the land and of ourselves. This eco-memoir approach that I've been using today uses a wider lens of intersectional analysis across gender, race, class, and borders to understand the full scope of our interconnections to one another and the earth. This lens spotlights marginalized identities, communities, experiences, and wisdoms as an essential part of eco-justice work. Marginalized communities are the most impacted by climate and environmental crises. This is why intersectional analysis and hearing the stories of those most impacted is of utmost importance when doing collective eco-justice work. Luckily, our church and UU churches across the country will be engaging more in this intersectional eco-justice work at the end of September. So mark your calendars. We will be engaging together in the National UU Climate Justice Revival. So mark your calendars for the weekend of September 28th and 29th to reimagine together from an extractive age to a new era. That is the title. We have an opportunity during this weekend to renew our commitment to our precious planet. If you are interested in helping facilitate and/or lead during the service or a workshop during this weekend focused on climate action, please let me or a social justice committee member know. Kelly Shea is one of our co-chairs of that committee. We would love all the help we can get, and the UUA is giving us resources, so it's easy, ahead of time, so that we can implement this programming together. So where does your story intersect with the story of the land that you are occupying, or a story of the land that you did occupy once upon a time? Where does repair need to happen on the land that you occupy? How does your story help you commit to to more collaborative eco-action work. The eco-action work that I'm committing to is the protection of the most precious resource of the land, that of our water. I want to continue to learn how to be a better steward of water and our land's precious resources. My eco-memoir story is leading me to commit to being a water protector. My story is leading me to engage in this e-collective, e-collaborative, and e-cooperative work. May we all listen to our stories and each other's stories and commit to the collective eco-justice work before us. Amen, and may it be so.
Thank you, Tina, for that very powerful service. My name is Elisa Enriquez, and I go by she, her pronouns. And I, along with Andrea Dieterman, are the outgoing co-chairs for Worship Committee. Our August Share the Plate is for the Afghan family that our church, along with the UU Church of Santa Fe, sponsors. Money will go directly to this family and goes towards dentures needed for the mother who requires extensive dental work, orthodontist work needed for the oldest daughter, Wi-Fi costs increasing significantly with COVID-era programs ending, rental costs, continued very high rental costs in Santa Fe, and other aid programs that have been reduced because of the COVID-era programs ending. May what you give bring you joy.
Thank you for your generosity. So we have numerous announcements, as you can see. As you probably already know, the Jim Scott concert that was scheduled for tonight is canceled. And today is the last day to give money for Lutheran Family Services' annual backpack and supplies drive for refugee and asylee children settled in New Mexico. If you have any money you still want to donate today, please give that money to our worship associates Elisa and Mimi, and they will get it in the right place. Next Sunday, our service, we have special guest worship leaders and musicians to lead with myself, Andrew Jameson and Shoyenka Rahim, and the service is entitled Love at the Center. This is going to be a very movement-centered, call and response-centered service. So just giving you some pre-warning, but it's going to be awesome. We got some spoken word happening, and it's going to be lots of fun, and there's going to be lots of energy. So please join us next week. And we also have next Sunday's forum at 11:45 on membership. Rebecca Howard is going to be leading that. And then we also have a young adult small group after the service. So if you're between the ages of 18 to 35-ish, you can stay after the service next week and meet with our young adult small group. Saturday, August 17th, we have Joy Drake's Celebration of Life at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Fuller Lodge. I know our choir is going to be singing for that and are preparing a couple songs. So please mark that on your calendar. And then that evening, we're going to have a summer movie night. If some of you are familiar with the Live to 100 documentary series, Secrets of the Blue Zones. So join us for that. There'll be popcorn. And then we also have our Global Affairs Great Decisions class, which begins on Monday, September 9th. I know I saw Don Morris. He was here. I don't know if he's still here, but he is heading that up. Oh, yeah. And so please speak with him, and the registration has been emailed to you all. Also, as you start school, some of you, Terra is cleaning out our DLRE office, and there are lots of binders to get reused that are in boxes near her office in the hallway. So if you all need binders for any particular reason, please take some. We could definitely, reuse is a good method, right, as we do our eco-action. So please take some of those binders. And then please meet us. Stay for our potluck after the service, meet and greet with Terra Hite, myself, and just community enjoyment. So please stay for that. Let us rise in body and or spirit and sing our closing hymn, Blue Boat Home, our beloved hymn. I just wanted to extend my thank you to all the folks who've been working on our potluck setup, so thank you all as well. And may we go from this place today thinking about our own eco-memoirs as they can lead us to doing the transformative eco-action work of protecting our precious blue boat home for generations to come. Amen, and may it be so. And let us hold hands, if you would like, for our closing song. So funny. Hey, you.